Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're back with Axe Judgment Day, and we're going to cover quite a few issues. We're going to talk about Death to Mutants Issue 2, Judgment Day Issue 4, Judgment Day Issue 5, Axe Avengers 1, and Death to Mutants Issue 3. And at this moment of the crossover, I do have to say that the tie-ins are becoming an issue. There's a lot of stuff that goes down that has zero explanation in the main story. So in the first issue, it really focuses on how the Deviants establish a common cause with Marvel's mutants. They even join in to protect Krakoa in the battle that we had at the beginning of this crossover against the Eternals and the Hex. It's actually pretty interesting to see that the Deviants can use Krakoan gates. This sort of proves Druig's point, but I guess this is explained away in some tie-in because they put zero focus on the fact that mutants are possibly deviants during the rest of the crossover. It is completely forgotten in the back end. We also discover that all the deviants get a positive judgment from the progenitor, which really drives Druig up the wall because most of the Eternals are getting a thumbs down. So it happens at the back end of this first issue is that our hero's first plan to stop this war between the Eternals and Marvel's mutants failed by reawakening the progenitor. Things went south, so now they're going for a plan B. Cersei and Jack of Knives go into the Eternals' exclusion, which is their own personal prison. And they break out Eros, Starfox, who is also an Eternal. Technically, he had died during Donny Cates' run on the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was resurrected. Supposedly, the Eternals that ended up on Titan had been cut off from the machine, but secretly, Eros had been connected there by his mother. So basically, he entered the back door into the Eternals' resurrection protocols, end all conflict on Earth, and they're going to do this by supercharging Eros' powers using the machine, and also tricking the Eternals to form a Unimind. And with help from Jean Grey, basically the Krakoan mutants are able to hijack the Unimind. They force a vote for a new Eternal Prime to get rid of Druig and instate Starfox as the new Eternal Prime. This whole crazy plan is able to take place. And even through Starfox's best efforts, he's not able to sway the progenitor from its mission to judge everyone on Earth and Earth itself, the machine. Also, in a last-ditch effort before Druig was deposed as the Eternal Prime, he unleashes Uranos on Earth, where Tony Stark is able to put his arsenal against him. It's probably all explained in a tie-in because in the main story, there's no explanation how Tony was able to do this. He also had a ton of help from Storm and Magneto, and we actually get a pretty awesome end for Magneto himself, who was barely hanging to life. Uranos had punched a hole through his chest. Mags used his powers to keep his internal organs on the inside, keep himself alive, and be able to take his vengeance on Uranos for what he did on Araco, Mars, where Uranos went full-on genocide and pretty much wiped off most of Araco's population. So let's get back to the failure of Plan B. Here's where the crossover gets pretty wonky, at least briefly, because they do stick the landing. So now we have the progenitor. It's going to judge Earth and basically wipe away from existence all that it deemed unworthy. So now all of our heroes, the X-Men, the Avengers, even the Eternals, they're able to sidestep the programming to not be able to attack a Celestial. It's not explained. I guess it's established in a tie-in. Very possibly Jean Grey was able to override it. But what happens is that the progenitor kills everyone, but everyone is resurrected, be it the mutants, the Eternals, and the mutants make an exception for all the Avengers. Even though this was a really big deal on Krakoa that they wouldn't resurrect humans normally. Again, I have a feeling that this was resolved in some type of tie-in. It's not explained here. Also, at the same time, we have Phastos going deep within the Earth to restart the machine. which would be the basic operating system of Earth, which was being infected by the progenitor. I have to say that this whole middle part of this crossover feels unnecessary. I have it divided into 3 different books. The first 2 are fantastic, but this middle one I can completely discard and deal without. Now, while the Avengers, Eternals, and the X-Men failed in attacking the progenitor, a small group of heroes infiltrated themselves into this being. So you had Tony Stark, Wolverine, Jean Grey, Ajax, Makari, and I must not forget Mr. Sinister. This is like their last Hail Mary to see if they can stop the progenitor's judgment. But we're going to leave this for our next video, so I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.